Representative Breen.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Larry, I wanted to go back to your point about medical necessity. So as I understand what you're saying, we set medical necessity industry-wide on a variety of fields. But walk me through, this waiver process is a bit confusing, but in general, when you're dealing with insurance and you've got a doctor who wants to prescribe a drug, maybe the patient doesn't take to the generic or what have you, does that mean the patient is denied the drug if the doctor says, well, I think this particular patient should get this particular drug?
No, that means that the medical community as a whole has established a standard that insurers, Medicare, Medicaid follow, and they may say under that standard we're going to deny it, and you're going to have to appeal the process, and then there is an appeal process.
Okay.
And in this particular case, got the frequently asked questions by the feds. It's medically appropriate, which makes sense. The doctor may say, I think it's medically appropriate for this individual to have this pill or that pill or IUD or whatever it might be, but they're not going to set up a whole new standard such as this bill does as to what a definition of a medical necessity is to allow one individual physician to determine what the medical community as a whole standard is as far as medical necessity.
And it just sounded like to me that it was kind of like when you if you want the brand name drug instead of the generic, that you just pay a little more for the brand name drug. Is that, am I mixing apples and oranges?
I think Jay's saying that would be good because then we could negotiate with the brand name people to get you the lowest price you could get. Under this bill, no, we'll pay. There's no copays or deductibles.
Okay. And then this 12-month issue in this bill, as I understand it, the insurance industry pays for they'll do a 90-day prescription, but the other side is saying that 12-month is cheaper to you guys. So I figured, well, why wouldn't you be offering the thing that is allegedly cheaper to you guys, 12-month versus 90 days?
My understanding is in most of these, and we've had not on this particular issue, and other issues with people getting 80 and 90-day prescribed pills, they want to make sure that they're back with the physician. They don't want them to go 1 year without contacting the physician. It may be something with diabetes, could be anything. So in those cases, there are management controls, and so it's 90, 180.
Okay. And then just very quickly for Ralph, it was my understanding that under I've got the list of the 18 or 13, I think it's 18 methods here, and one of them is ELA. Just confirm for me, Ralph, I understand that is the chemical neighbor to RU-486, which is the medical abortion drug. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so that, as I understand it, that works by either blocking implantation or actually preventing progesterone from adhering to the uterine lining, which would deny a developing fetus, or at least an embryo, from the nutrients it needs to survive, even though it's already implanted. Is that correct?
Right.
So we'd be paying for that for free, all of us, with our insurance plans under this bill.
And that's the concern for us. It's the abortifacient or abortion-inducing drugs. Again, we don't get into the contraceptives, but when it goes into after conception, that's our concern, and that's our opposition.
To be clear, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the medical community have indicated that the morning after pill, Plan B, contraception, ELA, are contraceptives. They are not abortion drugs. Mr. Ralph's organization, I'm sorry, I forget your last name, but his organization may disagree with the medical community, but we stick to medical.
I have the medical community saying that even if the embryo is implanted, that ELA can deprive it of the food it needs to survive in its mother's womb. And either way, whether it's implanted or not, it certainly will expel an embryo because it acts up to 2 weeks after conception. So you got to do something with that little developing embryo. And
the
so
FDA
from
has
the
approved the drug as a contraception.
Oh, sure. FDA has approved the drug, certainly. But,
Okay.
yeah, thank you, Madam Chairman.